for the keycard.
What's going on, everybody? It's LtBuzzLitebeer, and today I wanted to show you a bit of a hidden secret within the Division 2, and this is for all of you console killers out there that are really struggling a bit to hit those shots. Now, before any of my PC viewers turn this video off, because I said consoles, there is something in here for you as well. But before we begin today's build guide, in case you haven't yet smashed that sub button for intensive Division content, please do so. And don't forget to ring the bell to never miss a future upload notification from my YouTube channel. You can also really help out the channel by watching this entire video, rating and or sharing the video, and of course, leaving a comment. Alright, let's get this one started. So I wanted to show you guys exactly how strong this stat and build concept can be. And this build was born from questions and statements that I get from viewers about how it is so much harder to aim on consoles, and especially to hit those headshots. Now, as a longtime PlayStation owner, I can certainly understand where those comments are coming from, as hitting anything on a screen just using sticks is not easy, even with aim assist turned on. So this hidden attribute that not many agents use, even when it can really help their aim and improve their DPS, is weapon handling, which I believe was installed into the game somewhere around TU10. Weapon handling essentially uses 4 different attributes and then bundles them all together. Those being accuracy, how tight your reticle stays and how closely grouped your rounds are, stability, essentially recoil, reload speed, pretty self-explanatory and directly affects DPS, and then finally swap speed, which is slower with primary weapons, but this attribute can really help you out there, especially for those of you that like to run around with versatile on your builds. So for the specialization, I chose to go with the gunner spec, although for a bit more stability, you could use the sharpshooter spec for that tier 3 breath control perk. Alright, back to gunner. And it really blends nicely with this build concept because I'm using LMGs. There are excellent perks in this specialization, like bonus armor on kill, the large pouch for belt-fed weaponry, every third reload is 50% faster, self-generates ammo over time, rate of fire increase for achieving kills, and plus 10% weapon handling while not moving. Now on to the build overview, and I am using 2 pieces of Petrov, 1 piece of Ceska, 1 piece of Grupo Sombra, 1 piece of Walker Harris, and 1 piece of Overlord armaments. Now the concept here is that I am using brand set bonuses to compensate for my loss of crit while speccing into weapon handling everywhere, and of course, red attributes for damage output. For the mask, I have gone with my first of 2 pieces of Petrov with crit damage and weapon handling along with a crit chance mod. The body armor is not yet maxed out, but I am rolling with the Ceska chest piece along with crit damage and weapon handling as the attributes along with a crit chance mod. Braced is a wild talent for this build, as it adds a whopping plus 45% weapon handling once I get into cover, and really across this build, we are trying to avoid individual bonuses like accuracy or stability, as they're actually quite weak, but instead, we want to focus in on weapon handling any chance we get, because, as I mentioned before, it already encompasses accuracy and stability into it. Now, since I wanted to be able to crit, I went with the Ceska body armor for the plus 10% crit hit chance for the 1-piece bonus. The knee pads are Grupo Sombra with crit hit damage and weapon handling. Now, by using the 1 piece of Grupo, I gain plus 15% crit hit damage. For the backpack, I am using 1 piece of Walker Harris for the plus 5% weapon damage, along with crit damage, weapon handling, and truthfully, a really weak crit hit chance mod. Now, since I am already incentivized to get into cover by using the braced body armor talent, Composure on the backpack works nicely with this build and grants me an additional plus 15% weapon damage once I am in cover. A Providence backpack could work for the headshot bonus along with Vigilance, but I wanted a build that hits the damage buffs and doesn't lose them just for taking damage. Contractors Gloves are my second piece of Petrov, and I elected to roll weapon handling onto them as the second attribute. 2 pieces of Petrov grant me plus 10% LMG damage along with plus 10% weapon handling. For the knee pads, I am using Fox's Prayer for the extra damage to targets out of cover, and I could have recalibrated the crit hit damage over to weapon handling, but I decided not to. For the primary weapon, I went with an MG5 that already came with damage to armor as its attribute. Now, LMG's baked-in talent of damage to targets out of cover is ideal for this build concept, and both the attributes on this build are multiplicative damage types. Unhinged is a nasty LMG talent that adds plus 18% weapon damage at the expense of 25% stability and 25% accuracy, but this build has so much weapon handling, it actually overcompensates for that loss, and this MG5 is an absolute laser beam at all ranges. MG5s are still excellent LMGs with their best-in-class RPMs, extra headshot damage multipliers, and moderate first shot recoil. Alternate weaponry for this build could include the Black Friday named M249 and perfectly unhinged, Safety Distance MPX, new reliable RPK with perfectly optimized, and a host of other weaponry currently in the game that features some sort of handling characteristics. But for me, I wanted to showcase a build built around an LMG that could hit hard, especially with headshots, and would be super accurate and stable at all ranges to really help out anyone that struggles with controllers. So what happens if you don't want to use an LMG? Well, in that case, this build will really augment whatever weapon you slap onto it. For comparison, here is my Raid Famas build with all red attributes, fully min-maxed. You get the idea. As I start to fire, I can compensate for the vertical recoil and wandering of the weapon by using the mouse, but it requires a bit of attention and constant micro adjustments. Here is that same Famas on this weapon handling build, and although it does push out less damage per shot, I can tell you that it is much easier to keep on target to the point I really don't have to do anything with the mouse other than hold down the left button to fire. Reloads happen insanely fast with the weapon handling that I have stacked onto this build, so overall this build is able to hold its own in the DPS stats due to the reload speed advantages, which is a part of the DPS calculations. For the skills, I went with the Booster Hive, and for those of you that don't know, it increases weapon handling for you and your nearby allies. Even at tier 0, I still gain plus 20% weapon handling for 5 seconds. I've also gone with the Fixer Drone to keep me topped up and in combat, although at this skill tier, the heals are weak. And there's the build, and like I said earlier, if you are looking to gain easy DPS on your build, the easiest way is to first hit more shots, and second, to reduce the reload times. This build will really tighten your full auto bloom, virtually reduce vertical recoil, and performs reloads in the blink of an eye, even achieving sub 2-second reloads on big boy belt-fed LMGs. This is a great place to end this one, and as always, I look forward to reading your feedback in the comment section below. Don't forget to smash that sub button and ring the bell to never miss a future upload notification from my channel. If you could take the time to rate and share the video, it would be greatly appreciated. Links to support my content creations include Patreon and Teespring, both in the video description. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch for weekly Division streams and on Twitter for all my latest thoughts concerning most things gaming related. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.